there ain't going to be no type of relief. Okay?
And find them. There's been at least 40 people who've died in ICE Gestapo custody under Trump's second regime. One of them, there was evidence, was literally lynched, found hanging with his hands tied and his feet tied. And that's just one person. There's horror stories that are beyond imagination. Even other ICE agents have come out. Some of them have retired and resigned from ICE, and they're telling their stories. And they're saying stuff like, look, I'm against undocumented immigration, but this is treating people in a way that is just not, like, you're immoral, you're unethical if you do this thing. This is torture. This is torture. This is taking away their human rights. These are right-wing people who are retiring and going, I've seen this in the history books, if you know what I'm saying. Incinerators in the concentration camps. You know what's so crazy to me? It really is true. There's this old saying, I'm going to butcher it here, but to paraphrase it, one person dying is a tragedy. 1 million people dying is a statistic. And I think we're sort of seeing a bit of that in this second Trump regime. It's like one scandal can hold everybody's attention, and it can become a big deal, and things can change as a result of all the pressure that gets put on them over a single scandal. But what is it when you have, I don't know, 35 scandals a week? What is that? Well, then no one scandal can get the same public backlash and outrage and ire, and then nothing changes, right? Is that, I forget what they called it. I want to say it was like Rolling Thunder or something like that, but Steve Bannon had this strategy of like, flood the zone. Just flood the zone, do 20 things per day that they want to scream about and rip their hair out about, and they're only going to be able to talk about 1 or 2, maybe 4 of them at most, okay? And that means you get away with double digits. Double-digit scandals you get away with. The corruption. Think about the corruption. How corrupt can one regime be? Well, like every day you get a new story of, some crypto bullshit where they're robbing their own supporters. Some, foreign billionaires buying his token. Again, money laundering scheme effectively. Trump pardoning the guy CZ from Binance who laundered money for Al-Qaeda because CZ is now in business with him and propping Trump up. Okay, never mind the resort in Vietnam, the fucking resort in Qatar, like all these different things. All totally illegal, never mind his watches, never mind the NFTs, all that, like all totally illegal. But there's so much of it that people just throw their hands up and they go, I'm out. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to fucking follow all this? How am I supposed to, my outrage meter is broken. It broke. How, now it's like, nothing can get me outraged because I've seen so many things that are outrageous that, what am I supposed to do? Nothing seems to change, right?
Yeah, which that's going to change. See, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to put the spirit on people to lose it. Okay? Alright, 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. They shall be with swords in their hands. Okay? People are going to take matters into their own hands. Okay? And come up against their own government, their politicians. Alright? Because why? Voting doesn't change anything. Marching doesn't change anything. Going to city council, speaking to whoever you could talk to doesn't change anything, okay? And these people, what they're doing, they're trying to desensitize you with all this information, the Epstein files, all right? Talk about Iran, talking about aliens, okay? They're trying to have you so psychologically manipulated and worn down to where you just don't want to fight, okay? But the Lord's gonna put the spirit on people to raise back up and to rise up and to fight, okay? So it's getting ready to get crazy out here, It ain't gonna be normal. This ain't gonna be a normal downfall of an empire, okay? This is gonna be the worst and climactic downfall of a powerful nation that has been raised up. This is gonna be the ones for the books, and that's because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is gonna make it that way, okay? We're gonna talk about this for forever. All right, Babylon. Okay. Let's keep watching some of this.
And that's what they're exploiting in us. That's what they're exploiting in us.
Let me pause this.
They're exploiting that. There's so much.
Slack you, brothers.
Shit, gonna throw my hands up and go, fuck it, what am I supposed to do? But I don't know, man. Call me old-fashioned. When you start talking about building 23 concentration camps and having incinerators in them, this seems, you know, a level above and beyond almost everything else we've ever talked about. Especially because, don't forget that they're not even, originally people thought, oh, it's okay. They're just talking about going after undocumented immigrant violent criminals, or as they call them, illegal alien violent criminals. Well, it turns out that's bullshit, as all the evidence shows. 86% of the people that ICE has taken are not undocumented immigrant violent criminals, and of the 14% that potentially are, a lot of them are just accused violent criminals. Only a tiny percentage, maybe 5% or less, are actually convicted violent criminals. So that means all these people are being arrested, being detained, some of them being held for literally months, and they no evidence they did anything wrong whatsoever. In fact, according to the courts, at least 4,400 people, it's way more than that, but according to the courts, with ongoing lawsuits, at least 4,400 people are totally innocent of any wrongdoing and being held by ICE. So if you think, oh no, this is their problem, this is somebody else's problem, is it? Have you ever said anything anti-Trump publicly? Have you? Because if you have, I kind of think it's your problem. Because remember, they now are implementing what's called NSPM 7, which is this mindset approach of the entire government that Trump put into place, where now, instead of the intelligence agencies focusing on ISIS or Al-Qaeda or, you know, neo-Nazi groups, right-wing terrorism, you know, whatever, fill in the blank with actual threats, instead of doing that, they're now considering anti-Americanism is terrorism, or at least terrorist adjacent. Anti-capitalism, same thing. Anti-Christianity, same thing. If you're an extremist on migration or race or gender, you go on a list. If you're protesting ICE or you're an observer of ICE, you go on a list. I don't think you build out 23 concentration camps unless you're planning on warehousing a hell of a lot of people. Even just dissidents. People who are a thorn in your side, people who annoy the shit out of you, right? And this is where we are. This is where we are in this country. So it's time to wake up. It is time to wake up. 23 concentration camps, and now they're talking about incinerators. Building incinerators, and again.
And I remember Apostle Cabal used to go into the concentration camps, right? And, you know, that's where we were getting all the information. Your Walmarts can be easily turned into concentration camps, okay? These stadiums that they're building in your neighborhoods as they're gentrifying and pushing you out, all right? They can be turned into concentration camps. Big holding facilities that can house thousands of people, all right, at one time. These locations that you wouldn't even think of are going to become concentration camps, okay? And the scriptures go into that the 10th part, okay, all right, showing you that America is broken down into 10 FEMA regions, all right? The cities are going to be broken down and no man's going to be able to come in, okay? Like we've been saying, we're in those type of times. Things are getting ready to get not for the better, but for the worse. The last time of normalcy was before 2020 came in, around the time of March, where they changed the whole world by shutting it down, okay? So you're not going back to a time of so-called normalcy. You see? Let's keep watching. So a little bit more.
Migrant Insider talked about it, and we're talking about it. Good luck finding others who actually bring this up, because I do feel like there's still this thing in some people's minds where they go, that actually can't happen here, right? The fucking can't. How many things which you would have said 12 years ago, you would have said, there's no way that could happen here. How many of those things did it already happen? Think about January 6th. Think about the fake elector slate, right? Like, just take that. There was a time, of course, people said, there's no way you're going to try to steal an American election. What are you, insane? No one's going to try to steal an American election. Here we are. The guy did it and fucking got away with it. We have a 91-time criminal. He was charged with 91 crimes, Trump was. 34-time convicted felon. Okay? Pedophile, rapist, war criminal is now leading us. He's leading us. Who would have thought if I told you that in fucking 2012 that's what's gonna, you would have been like, what are you, no way, we're not gonna arrest him fucking 34 times. Oh, what are you insane? Here we are. Here we fucking are. Here we are. So it's time to wake up. It's time to realize what's going on here, and it's time to fight back against this stuff. Because holy cow, we cannot let this continue. We cannot let this continue.
The biggest question: who would have thought that the prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua were right the whole time? Okay, let me get a precept real fast. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. Okay, all right, that's what's here: war, evils, and pestilence. As they're speaking about all these different new diseases, okay, with these high mortality rates that are just going to take you out. All right, so we're in some bad times. Okay, your only way to get through these turbulent times is by what? Turning back to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right, the names of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai are the strongholds. And the scripture said that the righteous runneth into them and they are safe. Okay? All right? Matter of fact, since I quoted it, but I'm going to grab it. Let me see. Let me get Psalms 91. Okay? This is Psalms chapter 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power. In him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snares of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrows that fly by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. Okay, so the last plague of America is going to be the ICBMs. Okay, and we're going to need to be delivered from that, because where are you going to run? Where are you going to hide? What bunkers can you buy here in Babylon that will not be touched and destroyed? Okay, there's nothing that you can do except the Lord be with us. You see? It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. See? So as many people are dying all around us, the Lord's going to make it to where none of these things touch you. Okay? And that's if you're part of the Lord's elect. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. He shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thine ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lions and adder, and the young lion, and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet, because he hath set his love upon me. Therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. Okay? It's important. You know, faith in the names. The Lord has manifested his names unto us. Okay? To call upon him, to seek him, to pray to him, to beg him for mercy. Okay? He shall call upon me, and I will answer him, and I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. Okay? You see? Lord's going to rescue his servants. I do pray this was edifying to the Lord's elect. With that, I'm going to say shalom.